Hello, welcome back.
Hello, nice to see you again.
今天是第34课第1讲，在这一讲里，我们开始学习课文 The Devoted Friend 忠实的朋友第2部分。好，下面我们请 Terry 来给我们念一下这篇课文。
The Devoted Friend continued. As soon as winter was over, the primroses began to bloom. The miller went to visit little Hans. "Good morning, little Hans," said the miller. "Good morning," said Hans, smiling from ear to ear. "And how have you been all winter?" asked the miller. "Well, really," cried Hans, "it's very kind of you to ask. I had a hard time, but now spring has come and I'm quite happy. All my flowers are growing well." "How lovely your primroses are!" exclaimed the miller. "Yes, they are very lovely," said Hans. "I'm going to sell them at the market and buy back my wheelbarrow with the money." "Buy back your wheelbarrow? That means you've sold it. What a stupid thing to do." "Well, you see, I had a bad time last winter, so I first sold the silver buttons off my Sunday coat, and then I sold my silver chain, and then I sold my pipe, and finally I sold my wheelbarrow. But I am going to buy them all back again now." "Hans," said the miller, "I shall give you my wheelbarrow. It's not in very good condition. One side is gone and there is something wrong with the wheel, but in spite of that I shall give it to you." "Well, really, it is very generous of you," said little Hans. "I have a plank of wood in the house and I can easily repair it." "A plank of wood?" said the miller. "That is just what I want for my roof. There is a large hole in it and I must mend it. I have given you my wheelbarrow, so you can give me your plank." "Certainly," cried little Hans, and he ran into his house and brought the plank. "And now, as I have given you my wheelbarrow, I am sure you will give me some of flowers in return. Here is the basket. Fill it quite full." "Quite full?" said little Hans. It was really a very big basket, and he knew that he had to pick all his flowers to fill it. He looked sad, but the miller told him that true friends must not be selfish, so little Hans ran and picked all his pretty primroses and filled the miller's basket. "Goodbye, little Hans," said the miller as he went up the hill with the plank on his shoulder and the big basket in his hand. The next day the miller came and asked Hans to carry a sack of flour to the market and sell it for him. The day after he asked him to mend his roof for him. So little Hans did one thing after another for the miller, and the miller said all kind and beautiful things about friendship. One evening little Hans was sitting near the fire when he heard a loud knock at the door. It was a very cold night and a terrible wind was blowing. He ran to the door, and there stood the miller with a lantern in his hand. "Dear little Hans," cried the miller, "my little boy has fallen from a ladder and hurt himself. I'm going for the doctor, but he lives so far away, and it is such a bad night that I have decided to ask you to go instead. You know I'm going to give you my wheelbarrow, and you must do something for me in return." "Certainly," cried little Hans, "I shall start at once, but you must give me your lantern. The night is so dark that I'm afraid I might fall into a ditch." "I'm so sorry," answered the miller, "but it is my new lantern and I am afraid something may happen to it." Well, never mind, I shall go without it, cried little Hans, and he put on his coat and hat and set off. It was a stormy night. It was so black that little Hans could hardly see anything, and the wind was so strong that he found it difficult to stand on his feet. It was raining harder and harder. Little Hans lost his way. He fell into a deep hole full of water and was drowned. The next day, some goat herds found his body and brought him to the cottage. Everybody went to little Hans' funeral. The miller walked at the head of the procession in a long black coat, saying, "I was his best friend, so it's only right that I should be the chief mourner." And every now and then he wiped his eyes with a big handkerchief.
现在大家对课文的内容是否有了一定的了解呢？好，请大家准备用英文回答以下几个问题。Question 1. Why do you think the miller was willing to give Hans his wheelbarrow? Why do you think the miller was willing to give Hans his wheelbarrow?
I think it was because his wheelbarrow was not in good condition. One side of it was gone and there was something wrong with the wheel. He did not want it himself.
Question 2. What did the miller want in return for the wheelbarrow? What did the miller want in return for the wheelbarrow?
He asked little Hans to give him a plank of wood and a big basket of flowers in return.
Question 3. What did the miller ask Hans to do one stormy night? What did the miller ask Hans to do one stormy night?
He asked little Hans to go for the doctor for his son, who had fallen from a ladder and hurt himself.
Question 4. What happened to little Hans that night? What happened to little Hans that night?
He fell into a deep hole full of water and was drowned.
Question 5. Why do you think the miller wiped his eyes with a big handkerchief from time to time? Why do you think the miller wiped his eyes with a big handkerchief from time to time?
I think he wanted to show that he was Hans' true friend and was extremely sad over his death.
好，下面我们回过头来看一下课文中的一些疑难词句。请看课文第4行的一句话。
Good morning, said Hans, smiling from ear to ear. Good morning, said Hans, smiling from ear to ear.
Smiling from ear to ear 的中文意思是咧着嘴笑，如果直译的话就是从这个耳朵笑到那个耳朵，当然不符合中文习惯。这里请大家注意汉英语言的差异。从这句话中我们可以看出，英语的表达方法要比汉语的具体形象，而中文的表达方法则比较抽象。下面我们来看一些例句。
He looked at me from head to foot. He looked at me from head to foot.
他上下打量着我。上下打量，英语说从头看到脚，非常具体形象。
They ate their heads off at public expense. They ate their heads off at the public expense.
他们借公款大吃大喝，大吃大喝，英语说把自己的脑袋都吃下了，可见吃喝的厉害程度了。
He's been holding his nose in the air since he won the prize. He's been holding his nose in the air since he won the prize.
他自从得奖后就自以为是，目中无人。自以为是，目中无人，英语说鼻孔朝天，那是再形象不过了。
Peter kept licking his lips over the delicious Chinese food. Peter kept licking his lips over the delicious Chinese food.
彼得对中国的美味佳肴不住地咂嘴欣赏，咂嘴欣赏，英语说舔嘴唇。
The authority turned a blind eye to this problem. The authority turned a blind eye to this problem.
当局对这个问题不予理睬，不予理睬或者熟视无睹，英语说闭眼不瞧。
His life is hanging by a hair. His life is hanging by a hair.
他生命垂危，生命垂危，英语里说这个生命用一根头发吊着，那是够危险的了。从以上的几个例句来看，英美人很善于用头、脚、耳、鼻、眼等人体的某一部位来表示一个非常抽象的概念。如果我们在学习英语的过程当中注意留心观察，并且比较汉英两种语言的差异，一定会其乐无穷。好，下面我们再来看第6行的一句话。
It is very kind of you to ask. It is very kind of you to ask.
这句话的中文意思是谢谢你对我的关心。这是英语中很有用的一个句型。It 做形式主语，后面的逻辑主体加不定式短语 of you to ask 才是真正主语。of 是介词，有出自或者在什么什么一方的意思。好，我们再来多看一些相似的例句。
It was careless of him to lose his key. It was careless of him to lose his key.
他太粗心了，竟把钥匙给弄丢了。
It was considerate of you to say so. It was considerate of you to say so.
你这样说太周到了。
It was wrong of your boss to dismiss him. It was wrong of your boss to dismiss him.
你老板解雇他可是不对的。
It is generous of you to give me this as a present. It is generous of you to give me this as a present.
你把这作为礼物送给我，真是太慷慨了。在这我再强调一下 ，It is very kind of you to ask 这个句型非常有用，希望大家在课后一定要多多练习。 好，下面我们来看第9行和第14行的一句话。
How lovely your primroses are. How lovely your primroses are.
你的樱草花多漂亮。
What a stupid thing to do. What a stupid thing to do.
你这么干真蠢。这2句都是感叹句，用于表示强烈的感情。在英语中常用 what 和 how 放在句首，引出强调部分。what 修饰名词，而 how 修饰形容词或者副词。好，现在我们来看一些例句。
How beautiful her eyes are. How beautiful her eyes are.
她的眼睛多么漂亮。
How very thoughtful of you to take me to dinner. How very thoughtful of you to take me to dinner.
你带我去吃饭真是太周到了。
What a tall building it is. What a tall building it is.
多高的楼房啊。
What a mistake it is to have rejected his suggestion. What a mistake it is to have rejected his suggestion.
拒绝接受他的建议是多么的错误。
How time flies. How time flies.
时间过得多快啊。
How you've grown. How you've grown.
你长大了。请大家注意最后的2句话 How time flies, how you've grown。 这2句中 how 后面没有用副词做进一步说明，但是 fly 以说明时间在飞而不是在走， grow 则说明你在成长，再加上末句有惊叹号，所以句子的意思呢就十分清楚。我们必须掌握这种表达方法。英语中除了用 what 和 how 引出感叹句以外，还有其他一些表达方式，例如
The bridge is absolutely unsafe. The bridge is absolutely unsafe.
这座桥绝对危险。在这儿用陈述句表示惊叹句。
Wasn't it a wonderful film? Wasn't it a wonderful film?
多么精彩的电影！这里用否定疑问句形式表示惊叹，念的时候一定要用降调。
Did she look upset? Did she look upset?
她当时可显得忐忑不安啊！这里用肯定疑问句形式表示惊叹，读的时候呢，也一定要用降调。
If only I knew French. If only I knew French.
我懂法语就好了。这句话里面用 if only 表示惊叹。好，下面我们再来看一下第20页上的第2行和第9行的一句话。
I shall give you my wheelbarrow.
我把我的手推车送给你。
You should give me your plank.
你应该把你的木板给我。第一句中的 shall 是助动词，用于第一人称，表示单纯的将来时。比如
I shall telephone you as soon as I arrive in Beijing. I shall telephone you as soon as I arrive in Beijing.
我一到北京就给你打电话。请大家注意，当 shall 用于第一人称，表示单纯将来的时候，可用 will 代替，尤其在美国英语中 will 用的比较多。第二句中的 should 是情态动词，意思是应该，和 ought to 应该意思相近，但是 ought to 的口气要比 should 强一些，因此 should 多表示说话者的主观看法，而 ought to 则更多的表示一种客观情况。我们来比较一下下面两个句子。
The miller should call on Hans in the winter. The miller should call on Hans in the winter.
磨坊主应该冬天去看望汉斯。
The miller ought to call on Hans in the winter. The miller ought to call on Hans in the winter.
按理，磨坊主应该在冬天去看望汉斯。第一句中用 should 表示讲话者的主观看法，他认为虽然看望汉斯不是磨坊主应尽的责任，他也应该去看看。第二句中用 ought to 就使人听起来呢，看望汉斯是磨坊主应尽的责任，语气要比 should 强多了。
Goodbye once again. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, but don't forget to review your work if necessary.
好，今天这一讲就学到这儿。大家还记得我们今天重点讲解过的几个语言现象吗？先我们学了 should 和 ought to 的区别，还学了一个句型 It is very kind of you to ask 等等。希望大家在课后一定要多多练习。Okay, that's all for today. Bye.
Bye-bye.